Biblical financial principles for men who want to make their first million. Never go into debt. The game of wealth starts here. Why do so many men never get rich? If you want to be a millionaire, you need to stop acting broke. Debt is the greatest enemy of your wealth. The Bible is clear. The rich rule over the poor. The borrower is slave of the lender. Proverbs 22, verse 7. If you owe someone something, you are giving away your freedom. If you want to buy something expensive like a car or a house, don't buy it before you have the money. If you are going to pay interest, invest and multiply your money before spending it. Many people ask God for prosperity, but ignore the financial principles He left behind. The result? Even when they earn money, they lose it quickly like water in a leaky bucket. If you want to earn your first million, you need to understand that wealth doesn't just come from earning more, but from knowing how to properly manage what you already have. Wealth is not a stroke of luck, but construction based on wisdom and discipline. You can even win the lottery, but if you don't know how to manage it, you will go back to square one. That's why it's essential to learn from someone who truly understands wealth. And who is the richest and wisest person who ever lived? God. And if He teaches you about money, you need to listen. The Bible is a true financial manual, and if you follow these principles, your financial life will never be the same again. Imagine living without debt, investing wisely, and building a fortune that will last generations. It's possible, but to do so, you need to decide today that you will no longer be a slave to bad financial habits. The million, more than a number, a purpose. Imagine reaching the million you've always dreamed of, not just as a number in your bank account, but as a symbol of transformation, opportunities, and legacy. What does this really mean? Let's go beyond the obvious and explore the advantages that can transform your life and the lives of those you love. First, think about your family. Reaching a million offers the opportunity to build a solid foundation for them. It's about ensuring security, offering a quality education, opening doors and dreams that previously seemed distant. Financial comfort is not a luxury, but the chance to strengthen family ties with experiences that create everlasting memories. Imagine yourself sharing unique moments with those you love most, without the weight of financial worries. And what about purpose? God gives us talents, opportunities, and wisdom to prosper and make a difference in the world. It's not about religiosity, but about understanding that there is a call to abundance with responsibility. Reaching a million means more than stability. It's an opportunity to multiply blessings, helping others, contributing to causes that touch your heart, and living a greater purpose. This is the true power of money. There's also the question of impact. What would you do if you knew that your prosperity could influence future generations? Think about the legacy you could leave. Children who learn the value of determination, grandchildren who inherit opportunities, and a name associated with something positive. Reaching a million is the beginning of a story, not the end. But the path to it is also full of mysteries. What could be waiting for you beyond the horizon? What skills, connections, and ideas have you not yet explored? If there's one thing that is certain, it is that a millionaire is not made by money alone, but by a mindset, vision, and desire to grow. Remember, a million is a journey, a step toward becoming the best version of yourself, achieving your dreams and inspiring others. So why not start today? The decision is in your hands. What will you do next? Spend smartly. Your money is a seed. Never spend money you don't have. It seems obvious, but how many times have you spent it to impress others? Luke 12, verse 15 warns, "A man's life does not consist in the abundance of the things he possesses." Imagine yourself free from payments, living at ease, without worrying about bills. This is possible. Before making any purchase, ask yourself, do I really need this? If not, keep your money in your pocket. Many men live to impress others. They spend on expensive clothes, the latest cell phones, and luxurious trips without having the money for them. This is not wealth. It is an illusion. What you sow, you reap. Galatians 6, verse 7. If you sow unnecessary expenses, you reap debt and frustration. But if you sow investments, you reap abundance. Get your bank statement and see where your money is going. Now ask yourself, is this making me richer or poorer? Only buy what is essential and invest the rest. This is the difference between those who make it to a million and those who remain stagnant. Is this making me richer or poorer? A simple but powerful question. Is this making me richer or poorer? This reflection could be the key to transforming your financial life and leading you to $1 million. The secret to achieving prosperity is not just about making money, but how you use it. The real difference between those who achieve their financial goals and those who remain stagnant is the responsibility of their choices. Multiply your money, the path to $1 million. Do you want to know a secret of the rich? They don't just work to earn money. They make money work for them. The Bible teaches about multiplication in Matthew 25, verse 28. To everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have an abundance. But from everyone who does not have, even what he has will be taken away. Wealth is available to those who know how to manage it. If you don't learn how to invest, you will never get out of the cycle of living to pay bills. Have a plan. Jesus said in Luke 14, verse 28, "Which of you, wanting to build a tower, does not first sit down and calculate the cost?" Wealth requires planning. Without a plan, you will not get anywhere. Seek a millionaire mentality because the rich know where every penny goes. The poor spend without thinking. Which group do you want to be in? Grab a pen and paper or open a spreadsheet and make your budget now and don't put it off until later. Here are some proven ways to multiply your income. Invest in stocks and real estate funds. Your money works while you sleep. Entrepreneurship. Create something that generates income even when you are not present. Financial education. Knowledge is the key to unlocking your next financial level. Choose one of three and start today. Take the first step. Your million will not fall from the sky. It will be built by your decisions. Building your million. It starts like this. Imagine this. The million you so desire is not hidden in a secret chest or waiting to fall from the sky on a starry night. It will be built brick by brick, by your daily decisions, by the habits you cultivate, and by the strategic vision you embrace. The question is, are you ready to start working on this construction? The idea of earning your first million may seem challenging, almost distant, but make no mistake. This path does not require luck or magic. It requires action. Every financial decision, no matter how small it may seem, is a fundamental piece of this big puzzle. When you choose to invest instead of impulsively spend, when you plan instead of improvising, you are taking steps that bring you closer to that goal. Think about the difference between spending and investing. Spending is like sand slipping through your fingers, momentary, fleeting. Investing, on the other hand, is like planting a tree. It requires patience, care, and vision, but the fruits are long-lasting and abundant. Choosing where to put your money is deciding between feeding your bank account or future regret. Ask yourself daily, is this making me richer or poorer? This simple reflection can completely change your trajectory. But it's not just about money. It's about purpose. What will you do with that million? Maybe it's taking care of your family, making sure your children have opportunities you never had, or supporting causes that resonate with your values. When you are clear about your why, the how becomes much more powerful. That million is not just a number. It is a symbol of achievement, impact, and legacy. Oh, and before you think it is a lonely journey, remember that great achievements are built with learning and partnership. Do not hesitate to seek knowledge, to talk to those who have already walked this path, and to be willing to constantly evolve. A millionaire is not only made of intelligent actions, but of a mindset that believes and acts without giving up. And watch out for traps. They are what prevent many from achieving their financial dreams. Unnecessary expenses, hasty decisions, and lack of planning are sneaky enemies. Knowing how to identify these traps and choosing wisely is what separates those who prosper from those who remain stagnant. Now imagine the future. Look at where you want to go. Feel the satisfaction of knowing that the effort, discipline, and patience were worth it. You will not only be richer, but also more fulfilled, wiser, and better prepared to face whatever comes your way. Every choice you make today is a step in that direction. Every reel invested with purpose is a brick in the construction of your million. Therefore, from now on, every decision matters. What you buy, what you save, what you invest, it is all part of a greater plan. Your wealth will not be the result of chance. It will be the result of strategy, consistency, and determination. Are you ready to get started? Then don't wait any longer. Analyze your finances. Set clear goals and take the first step. The million will be built by you, and the time to start is now. Make your choice today and build the future of your dreams. Budget is your treasure map. Rich people plan. If you don't control your money controls you. Golden rule. Your expenses can never be greater than your income. Jesus already taught us this in Luke 14, verse 28. Which of you, intending to build a tower, does not first sit down and calculate the cost to see if he has enough to complete it? See, for everything we have to do to reach one more step requires planning. As an example of this, I will take the opportunity to go further, and I want you to come with me, because I want to talk about the other level of mentality that impels those who have already reached million, because millionaires have a plan. Broke people have excuses. So, listen to this to blow your mind and warm your heart. The millionaire mentality that goes beyond is the thinking that builds billions. And what does this mean? Let's go. Millionaires have a plan. Billionaires have a vision. There's a subtle but profound difference between the mindset that builds millions and the mindset that builds billions. Both require discipline, strategy, and resilience. But the billionaire thinks beyond the obvious, challenges limits, reinvents the impossible, and dreams big. Let's embark on this journey to understand what really goes on in the minds of those who transform opportunities into unimaginable fortunes. First, the billionaire thinks about impact. While a millionaire may focus on his own prosperity and financial security, the billionaire expands his vision to transform the world. He understands that the true power of money lies in its ability to create solutions on a large scale. Think of the billionaire who challenges the aerospace industry, or the one who fights global diseases. For these visionaries, money is a tool to solve problems and change paradigms, not just a status symbol. The millionaire plans. The billionaire scales. He knows that one man's work alone is not enough to achieve the extraordinary. Therefore, one of his greatest skills is to gather brilliant people around him, delegating wisely, inspiring teams, and building systems that work even without their supervision are strategies that put them at a higher level. How can you maximize the impact of your actions today? What skills, ideas, and connections can take your plan into a realm of limitless possibilities? Another defining trait of the billionaire mindset is his focus on the long term. While many seek immediate gratification, he plays the patience game. He invests his time, energy, and resources in projects that may not yield immediate returns, but that have the potential to revolutionize the future. The billionaire understands that monumental success takes time, and he is willing to pay the price of waiting with work and perseverance. But above all, the billionaire does not think in limits. He believes that there is always a solution, a new perspective, an innovative way of doing things. Where others see obstacles, he sees challenges that can be overcome with creativity and boldness. This thinking sets him apart from the crowd. While many say it's not possible, he asks, how can we make it work? There's also something almost poetic about the billionaire. He doesn't fear failure. In fact, he embraces it as an essential part of the process. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn, grow, and adjust his strategy. He doesn't seek to avoid problems, but rather to face them with courage and curiosity. In this way, he turns every defeat into a stepping stone to success. And what can we learn from this? You don't have to be a billionaire to start thinking like one. The difference lies in how you approach your life, your decisions, and your goals. Instead of asking yourself, how can I make more money? Ask, how can I solve big problems? Instead of thinking about the next month, think about the next 5 years. And most importantly, believe in the impossible, because it's in the space of impossibilities that great achievement happen. Becoming a billion requires more than financial strategies. It requires purpose, a clear vision, and an unwavering mindset. It's not just about accumulating wealth. It's about building something that transcends the individual and touches lives in meaningful ways. Now it's up to you. How can you apply this billionaire mindset to your life? What actions can you take to go beyond the ordinary? Remember, the path to a billion starts with vision and a decision to never give up. And if you're ready to take that step, the time to start is now. Don't wait for the future. Build it. A plan can take you to millions, but a vision can transform you into something much greater. The choice is yours, and the sky is not the limit. Do the following and get started. Take a piece of paper and write down now your total monthly income, your fixed expenses, rent, bills, food, your unnecessary expenses. Cut them immediately. How much you can invest per month. If you follow this plan, you will reach $1 million. But if you continue spending aimlessly, you will only be postponing your victory. Multiply your money. Investing is a biblical principle. Proverbs 21 verse 5 says, "The plans of the diligent lead to abundance. Letting money idle is a waste." Where to invest? Stocks and real estate funds. Own businesses, real estate, international investments. Millionaire strategy. Instead of spending on something superfluous today, invest and watch your money grow in the future. Research an investment and take the first step today. Do you want to be a millionaire? Or do you want to stay in the same place in 5 years? The principles are here, but only you can decide to apply them. Write in the comments, "I choose wealth." If you are committed to changing your life financial, multiply your money. Investing is a biblical principle. Proverbs 21 verse 5 says, "The plans of the diligent lead to abundance. Letting money sit idle is a waste." Invest in stocks and real estate funds. Own businesses, real estate, international investments. Instead of spending on something superfluous today, invest and watch your money grow in the future. Research an investment and take the first step. Underscore. Who did you think of? Can you imagine this person being impacted by hearing this? Share this video with him or her who needs to hear this. Want to see if you are subscribed? If you want, activate the bell so you don't miss any of these precious instructions. Wealth begins in the mind and manifests itself in your life. Be grateful and live simply. True wealth is not found in luxury, but in financial freedom. Many people live in pursuit of status, wanting to show off a life they do not have, while true financial peace comes from gratitude and simplicity. 1 Timothy 6 verses 6 to 8 reminds us, "And if we have food and clothing, we will be content with that." This means that the basis of happiness is not in the amount of possessions we accumulate, but in the peace of knowing that we have enough to live with dignity. When you learn to live with less, you automatically make room for more. This does not mean that you should not seek growth, but rather that your happiness cannot be tied to material possessions. Gratitude transforms the way you deal with money. Instead of spending impulsively to fill a void, you begin to see your finances as a tool for freedom, not a prison of debt and ostentation. Be faithful in the small gains, and God will entrust you with greater things. Live with purpose. Invest in what really matters and build a life where money is your servant, not your master. If you really want to transform your financial life, share this knowledge. Tag someone who needs to learn these principles and start your journey to financial freedom. I will now reveal to you the hidden secret of true prosperity. Many seek prosperity instead of righteousness. But what if I told you that this is the reason why they never find what they are looking for? Most people chase money as if it were the ultimate goal in life. They work nonstop, get into debt to maintain a status they cannot afford, and wonder why they can never achieve financial stability. But what if the true path to prosperity did not start with money, but with something much more powerful? Matthew 6 verse 33 gives us the key that many ignore. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Society teaches that in order to prosper, you need more money. But God teaches that in order to have everything you need, you must first seek righteousness. And this is where many people go wrong. They want riches, but without principles. They want success, but without character. They want to reap, but without sowing. True prosperity comes when you live with integrity, make wise decisions, and align your actions with God's principles. When you seek justice first, that is, what is right, honest, and aligned with the values of the kingdom, doors open in ways you never imagined. 6.1 doors open when you seek justice first. Have you ever felt that some people seem to live under a lucky star, where everything works out and opportunities appear almost magically? What if I told you that this has nothing to do with luck, but everything to do with choices? The choice to seek justice first is one of the most powerful choices you can make in life, because what you sow with honesty, character, and correct values You reap in blessings that go far beyond what your eyes can imagine. The pursuit of justice is like a key that opens invisible doors, those that other people don't even realize exist. When you prioritize what is right, what is aligned with the kingdom and the principles of integrity, your life begins to change from the inside out. But be careful. This does not mean that the path will be easy. On the contrary, seeking justice requires courage to swim against the current of a world that often seems to be collapsing. And this is exactly where the first trigger arises. What if you are sabotaging your destiny because you chose shortcuts instead of following the right path? This thought may give you chills, but it is also a call to action, because what is at stake is not just the present, but the entire legacy you are building. Choosing justice, being correct, honest, and active with principles is not weakness, but the greatest demonstration of strength that anyone can have. And believe me, people who seek justice have something that money cannot buy: inner peace. When you align your choices with what is morally correct, something almost inexplicable begins to happen. Opportunities appear from places you never expected. Paths unfold like magic. The right people come into your life at the exact right time, and doors that have been closed for years suddenly open. You can call it luck, coincidence, or divine providence. But one thing is certain: the universe listens to those who act in accordance with justice and responds with abundance. Now, allow yourself to reflect. How many times have you seen someone achieve success quickly, but lose everything because they did not have solid foundations? It is like building a mansion on sand. The wind of selfishness, thoughtless decisions, and dishonesty comes and destroys everything. Seeking justice is building your life on rock. And this choice impacts not only you, but also your family, your friends, and even future generations. It is an act of courage that reverberates through time. If you're still not convinced, consider the following. Seeking justice is an investment that never fails. It's like planting a tree that will bear fruit forever. When you prioritize what's right, you're investing in trusting relationships, a solid reputation, and a future that won't be shaken by headwinds. You're creating a foundation for living in abundance, not just financially, but spiritually and emotionally. But of course, no one is immune to challenges. There will always be temptations, shortcuts, and that sneaky thought that says, "Oh, just this once." No one will notice. This is where the motivation trigger comes in. What do you prefer? A momentary victory that's gone as quickly as it came, or the satisfaction of knowing you're building something lasting? When you choose the path of righteousness, you're making a statement to the world and to yourself that you're willing to pay the price for greatness. And the reward? Oh, it comes. And when it comes, it is greater than you dare to dream. This is the hidden promise of justice. It never returns empty. Every honest act, every right choice, every moment of integrity is a seed planted in the most fertile soil. And in due time, you reap, but you reap much more than you sowed. You reap peace, you reap purpose, you reap impact. So, what is stopping you from taking the next step? The fear of being different? The fear that being fair will make you miss opportunities? That is where you are wrong. Being fair does not limit you. On the contrary, it frees you. It frees you from the weight of guilt, the bonds of selfishness, and the prison of a life devoid of meaning. Be the person who inspires others to seek what is right. Be the one who proves that it is possible to achieve success without giving up values. Be the one who builds, not destroys. Because when you seek justice first, the kingdom responds. And the doors, oh, they not only open, they swing wide. What now? What will you choose? The world is waiting for more people like you. People who understand that true success begins with a decision. The decision to do what is right. Not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. Together, let's transform this decision into a journey of impact and purpose. Because at the end of the day, what really matters is not what you have accumulated, but how much you have lived in alignment with the values that shape the best of who you are. So, are you ready to open the doors that are waiting for you? The time is now. The path is before you. Make your choice and see what happens when you seek justice first. Prosperity comes as a consequence. Think about it. Who do you know who is truly prosperous, but has no character? Who maintains wealth without wisdom? Money alone does not build lasting fortune, but justice and wisdom do. Now reflect. What have you sought first? Money or justice? Does your financial life reflect your faith? If you want to truly transform your financial life, start by changing your mindset. It could be a sign of divine intervention and a step towards financial freedom. Comment "Justice First" and share this message with those who need to hear it today. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that you have finally achieved what so many people desire, your first million. It may seem far away now, but know that this goal is much closer than you think. What separates those who get there from those who fall by the wayside is not just talent or luck. It is mindset, strategy, and consistency. Think about it. How many opportunities do you have every day to turn a simple idea into something great? How many times have you looked at a problem and thought, if someone solved this, they would get rich? Why not you? The world is full of little gaps, and in each one of them, there's a golden opportunity waiting for someone who has the courage to act. The secret? Break the goal down into smaller steps. The first million does not come overnight, but from small, well-planned steps. A strategic saving here, a well-thought-out investment there, the courage to start that project that has been in the drawer. Every decision today is like a piece of a puzzle that, in the end, forms the picture of your success. And here is something that not everyone realizes. The first million is not just about money. It's about who you become in the process. It's about learning to think like someone who doesn't just earn, but who creates value. The true power of a million lies in who you become in the process. See, when we think about earning our first million, it's easy to focus only on the money, the amount that marks our bank account, or the comfort it can provide. But there's a secret that few people realize. The true impact of a million isn't in the amount. It's in who you become throughout the process. Because it's not just about earning, it's about creating value. It's about learning, growing, and evolving to become someone who does more than accumulate wealth. It's someone who transforms lives and builds a legacy. Get ready for what you're about to hear now, and the revelations will shock you and definitely change your way of thinking. Achieving your first million is not a final destination. It's a journey, a school of life. Every decision, every difficulty overcome, every challenge faced shapes who you are. And that's the big takeaway. A successful millionaire is not made just by the money he earns, but by the mindset he develops along the way. And then comes a question that can change everything. Who are you becoming as you pursue your goals? Be careful, because egoism sabotages success. Here's the first necessary slap on the wrist. Many people dream of making a million, but they stagnate because they only think about themselves. They see money as an end, not as a tool for transformation. This egoism prevents them from creating real value, from seeing beyond their own benefit. People who think this way may even make money, but they never achieve true prosperity. Someone focused only on egoism lives in a vicious cycle. Each opportunity is seen as a means to earn more for themselves, while other doors of impact and achievement remain closed. Make no mistake, being a millionaire is not about accumulation, but about contribution. It's about thinking, what can I do with this? How can I create something bigger than myself? If you're in this cycle looking only at yourself, it's time to shake it up, because a million will never be enough for those who haven't learned to look beyond themselves. The process that shapes the value creator looks like this. On the other hand, the value creator sees each step as a learning opportunity. He doesn't just accumulate money. He invests in himself, his community, and the world around him. This person understands that the million is a consequence of acquired skills, strategic decisions, and a mindset that thinks big. And the most powerful thing is that each challenge faced, each mistake made, each success celebrated adds layers to this person's character. This is where the transformation lies. As you focus on creating value, you not only improve your chances of making money, but you also become someone indispensable. Someone who solves problems, who inspires others, and who doesn't just play the game of life, but changes the rules of the game. Think about who you will be after going through this process. Not just someone financially stable, but someone who has learned to think strategically, lead with purpose, and impact lives. This evolution is what separates the winner from the creator, because winning is temporary. Creating value is eternal. No growth process comes without difficulties, and the road to a million is full of them. there is temptation, there is doubt, there is fear. There is that moment when you think, can I really do it? But you know what's funny? These challenges are not here to knock you down. They are here to polish you, to bring out the rough diamond that is hidden behind fear and insecurity. Each obstacle that you overcome is a silent victory. It is like a brick placed in the construction of your millionaire mindset. You learn to resist, to plan, to make better decisions. And little by little, these lessons transform you. When you look back, you realize that you are no longer the same person you started with. You are now someone wiser, more focused, more prepared to face whatever comes your way. The process that shapes the value creator looks like this. On the other hand, the value creator sees each step as a learning opportunity. He doesn't just accumulate money. He invested in himself, his community, and the world around him. This person understands that the million is a consequence of acquired skills, strategic decisions, and a mindset that thinks big. And the most powerful thing is that each challenge faced, each mistake made, each success celebrated adds layers to this person's character. This is where the transformation lies. As you focus on creating value, you not only improve your chances of making money, but you also become someone indispensable. Someone who solves problems, who inspires others, and who doesn't just play the game of life, but changes the rules of the game. Think about who you will be after going through this process. Not just someone financially stable, but someone who has learned to think strategically, lead with purpose, and impact lives. This evolution is what separates the winner from the creator. Because winning is temporary, creating value is eternal. No growth process comes without difficulties, and the road to a million is full of them. There is temptation, there is doubt, there is fear. There is that moment when you think, can I really do it? But you know what's funny? These challenges are not here to knock you down. They are here to polish you, to bring out the rough diamond that is hidden behind fear and insecurity. Each obstacle that you overcome is a silent victory. It is like a brick placed in construction of your millionaire mindset. You learn to resist, to plan, to make better decisions. And little by little, these lessons transform you. When you look back, you realize that you are no longer the same person you started with. You are now someone wiser, more focused, more prepared to face whatever comes your way. The biggest transformation you will experience during this journey is not the money you earn, but the mindset you acquire. The successful millionaire thinks differently. He doesn't just see problems, he seeks solutions. He doesn't wait for opportunities to appear. He creates them. He understands that money is a tool, not an end. And most importantly, he acts with purpose. What does this mean for you? It means that the first step to achieving a million is to start thinking like someone who is already there. Ask yourself, how would someone who creates value act in this situation? What decisions would they make? How would they face this challenge? When you align your mindset with your actions, the world begins to respond differently. Doors open, connections arise, and opportunities appear. Who do you want to become? Now, the final question, who do you want to be when you reach your first million? Someone who just earned, or someone who created? Someone who impacted, inspired, and transformed, or someone who got stuck in selfishness? That choice is yours. And the amazing thing is that it starts now with the decisions you make every day. Be someone who creates value. Take advantage of every opportunity as a stepping stone to something bigger. Because a million is not just about money. It's about the journey, the lessons, and above all, who you become in the process. The time to start is now. Invest in yourself, in your mindset, and in your dreams. Because at the end of the day, money may be fleeting, but who you become is eternal. Someone who takes advantage of every opportunity, every challenge, as stepping stones to something bigger. I ask you, what's stopping you today? What's the next step you can take this week to get closer to that goal? You already have everything you need. Your determination, your creative mind, and the will to transform your life. The first million is waiting for you, and it starts with a decision. Act now. Let's go for it. Here are 5 practical and consistent tips to achieve the much-desired first million. Number 1, invest in financial education. Knowledge is your greatest asset. Learn about investments, savings, and financial management. Mastering concepts such as compound interest, Portfolio diversification and spending control will allow you to make smarter decisions with your money. Listen to this. Is everything falling apart, or are you building your new version? Imagine this. You are at a crossroads. Every decision you make today can lead you to the success you dream of or to the abyss of regret. Life doesn't wait. Opportunities are passing you by now. What are you doing to take advantage of them? It's time to wake up and act before it's too late. Do you feel like time is slipping away? Every minute is a chance that you can't get back. What if tomorrow you look back and realize that you missed the opportunity to change your story? Don't let yourself be carried away by complacency or procrastination. The difference between those who achieve and those who only dream is the urgency to act in the present. And here comes a truth that few have the courage to say. If you are not investing in yourself, you are sabotaging your future. Think about the people you admire. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They created the moment, faced their fears, and turned obstacles into steps. Are you prepared to be the person the future demands of you? The choice is yours, but the clock is ticking. Now is the time to make it happen. Get up, move, and build the tomorrow you deserve. The world will not wait for you. Number 2, turn dreams into achievements with the power of planning. Dreaming is important, but dreaming without action is like trying to reach the top of a mountain without a map or steps. That's why planning and tracking your goals is not just an optional step. It's the foundation for success. Setting clear and defined goals turns vague intentions into concrete plans. It's the first step to moving from maybe one day to being in control of my future. Imagine, for example, setting a goal like saving 20% of my salary per month. It seems simple, right? But the impact of this over time is huge. With consistency, this practice can open doors that previously seemed unattainable. A solid emergency fund, the investment needed to make a dream come true, or even the long-awaited financial freedom. The secret lies in clarity and discipline. But it's not enough to just create a plan. You need to monitor your progress regularly. Tracking your goals allows for adjustments and keeps you on track, even when faced with obstacles. Consistency is not perfection. It's commitment. Small daily steps lead to extraordinary achievements. And the most amazing thing? Planning not only transforms financial results, but who you become in the process. You develop resilience, focus, and a growth mindset. Every victory, no matter how small, fuels your motivation and reinforces your ability to dream bigger. Now is the time to take action. Set goals, take control, and watch the transformation happen. Number 3, start experiencing the power of multiple income streams. Relying solely on your salary can be one of the biggest obstacles to financial growth. While it can provide the basics, relying on just one source of income limits your potential to achieve bigger goals, like financial freedom. Creating multiple sources of income is not just a smart choice, it's an urgent necessity. Imagine your salary unexpectedly stopped. What would you do? This scenario highlights the importance of diversifying your income. Additional sources of income, such as passive income, investments in stocks, real estate funds or bonds, freelance work, or even a side business, offer stability and security. After all, when you have multiple financial inputs, the risks are spread and the opportunities for growth multiply. Plus, each new source of income accelerates your journey to becoming a millionaire. Passive income, for example, allows your money to work for you while you sleep. Well-structured investments generate returns that can fund your dreams without requiring constant effort. Freelance work or side hustles can turn skills and passions into real income. The benefits are clear: greater security, more freedom, and a solid financial future. But the time to act is now. The sooner you start, the faster you'll see results. Don't wait for the perfect time. Take the first step and start building the future you deserve. Your journey to becoming a millionaire begins with a single decision. Number 4, reinvest your earnings. Whenever possible, reinvest the profits you make from your investments or businesses. This creates a snowball effect, where your earnings multiply over time, accelerating the growth of your wealth. Reinvest your earnings and multiply your future. Imagine this. Every dollar you earn has the potential to turn into something much bigger. But for that to happen, It takes more than just letting your money sit idle or using it impulsively. The secret to accelerating the growth of your wealth is to reinvest your earnings. It's this practice that turns dreams into reality and transforms good opportunities into something extraordinary. Think of the concept of the snowball effect. It starts out as just a small pile of snow, but as you push it, it grows exponentially, gaining momentum and size. It works the same way with your earnings. Every time you reinvest profits from your business or investments, you increase the potential for even more returns. This virtuous cycle not only makes your money grow, but it also builds consistency, discipline, and most importantly, financial freedom. Reinvesting is more than just a strategy. It's a commitment to your future. When you choose to put your profits back into investments, you're telling yourself, I believe in my plan. I'm building something bigger. This mindset not only increases your wealth, but also changes who you are in the process. You become a strategic thinker, someone who sees opportunities where others see limitations. But be warned, the time to act is now. Every day you fail to reinvest is a day you miss the chance to accelerate your progress. Don't wait for extra funds to come your way. Make it priority. Small actions today create big results in the future. Time and compound interest are on your side, but only if you make the decision to reinvest. Start with what you have, whether it's a business, an investment portfolio, or a side project. The most important thing is not the size of the step, but the direction you're taking it. And each reinvestment is a step in the right direction. Number 5, walk with inspiring people and transform your future. Have you ever stopped to think about the impact that the environment in which you live has on your choices, your dreams, and your future? The truth is that the power of connections is huge, often underestimated, but absolutely transformative. If you want to grow financially, emotionally, or in any area of your life, be around inspiring people is more than just advice. It is a strategic step that can change everything. Imagine being surrounded by individuals who not only share your goals, but who have also walked parts of the path you want to follow. These people have something valuable to offer: insights, motivation, and, above all, experiences. They see beyond what you see. They have stories of overcoming and lessons that can accelerate your growth. It is like being on a racetrack with mentors by your side saying, you can go faster, but here is a secret. Who doesn't want that? This energy of a group that elevates. Being around inspiring people is like entering a circle of positive energy that fuels your ideas and pushes your limits. These individuals not only believe in growth, but they live it every day. Connecting with a community that shares financial goals, for example, puts you in an environment where progress is a language. Every conversation, every exchange of experience, every insight creates a spark to keep moving. And here's something even more powerful. These connections combat fear and procrastination. When you're surrounded by people who are moving forward, you feel part of that movement. The sense of belonging not only inspires, but also creates positive pressure. It's like having a motivational soundtrack playing behind the scenes as you face challenges. Mentors, they're like your GPS for success. Connecting with mentors is another essential step. They're like a GPS that adjusts your route whenever you start to stray. Mentors have faced challenges, made mistakes, and learned lessons that you can use to save time and energy. They're not there to make decisions for you, but to offer perspectives that you might never have considered. Their guidance is like a flashlight illuminating steps that were previously unknown. In addition, mentors are a constant reminder that success is achievable. When you see someone who has already gotten to where you want to be, something inside you changes. That inner voice that says, I can't do it, is replaced by, I can do it too. This effect is transformative and gives you the courage to face even the most difficult challenges. 8.1 Choose your circle wisely. But be careful. Walking with inspiring people requires strategic choices. Not every environment is conducive to growth. If you're surrounded by negativity, by people who always find problems instead of solutions, this can hold you back. The tip is simple. Seek out those who challenge you to be better and who believe that the sky is not the limit. It's just the beginning. Communities with similar goals are a great place to start. These days, online groups, financial forums, networking events, and even business book clubs can connect you with like-minded people. When you put yourself in these environments, Doors start to open, and little by little, you realize that you're not alone on this journey. The time to act is now. So the question is, who are the people around you today? Do they lift you up or keep you down? It's time to make a choice. Connect with mentors. Seek out inspiring communities and surround yourself with positive energy, because the environment you're in today can be what determines where you'll be tomorrow. The time to act is now. Don't wait. Go after it. Open doors, make connections. Because success isn't built alone. It's driven by the right people around you. So, are you ready to walk with giants and transform your future? The important change in perspective about money. Instead of focusing only on wealth, you begin to see God as a true source of provision and begin to trust more in His plan. This brings a deeper and more meaningful approach to the relationship with money. Seeing God as a source of provision transforms the search for wealth into something greater than material things. It becomes an act of faith, trust, and purpose. This perspective leads us to understand that prosperity is not just about numbers, but also about inner peace, gratitude, and a life aligned with divine values. When we trust in God's plan, we find balance. Money ceases to be the center of concern and becomes a tool that we can use wisely, always guided by greater principles. It is an invitation to review our priorities and seek a meaning that goes beyond the material. How do you see the connection between trust in God and the way we deal with money? Alignment with God's Rule 12:13. When your view of money begins to align with biblical principles of stewardship and obedience, God may be preparing you for greater prosperity. How many times have you been afraid of not having enough, of facing difficult days, not knowing how to move forward? This fear may seem like a barrier, but here's the truth. It's the beginning of something greater. It's the point where you begin to seek an inexhaustible source of strength, peace, and provision. And that source isn't money. It's God. Imagine trusting God's plan for your life completely. God never planned scarcity for you. He desires prosperity, growth, and abundance. But to achieve this fullness, you need to break free from the limited view of money as the only way. Money is just a tool. True wealth is understanding that there is something much greater guiding every step you take. God is a source that never runs dry, that never fails, even in the most difficult moments. The fear you feel can be transformed into courage, because trusting in a higher plan means letting go of control and embracing the certainty that there's a greater purpose in everything. And as that trust grows, your financial decisions stop being just strategies. They become acts of faith. Envision a life where you are not guided by the fear of losing, but by the hope of winning. A life where you see each challenge as a stepping stone to achieving more. God doesn't want you to just survive. He wants you to thrive. True wealth lies in aligning your dreams with His plans, allowing your vision to expand beyond your current circumstances. Today, I challenge you. Stop focusing on what seems impossible and start believing in what is promising. The first step to prosperity begins with a change in perspective. Trust in the source and move forward, because your abundance is already on its way. Financial prosperity vision, the journey to freedom. Financial prosperity is not just a matter of numbers in a bank account. It begins with clarity and intentionality. Understanding your goals, aligning your efforts, and above all, trusting in God's direction. Having clarity about your financial dreams is like drawing a map, and God, in His infinite wisdom, is the guide who lights the way. As it is written, well-laid plans lead to wealth, but hasty ones lead to poverty. Proverbs 21 verse 5. This message is not a call to rush, but rather strategic planning guided by faith. Imagine for a moment what true financial freedom means to you. Maybe it is being able to care for your family without worry, helping others in need, or living the calling God has placed on your heart. Wealth, when cultivated with purpose, is a tool to impact lives. It is not about selfish accumulation, but about a generosity that flows from a spirit that trusts God. After all, the Lord gives wisdom, and from His mouth come knowledge and understanding. Proverbs 2 verse 6. When seeking prosperity, do not neglect the value of knowledge and action. Dreams without action are like boats without oars, adrift at sea. God, who is the greatest architect of the universe, created the world with purpose and order. In the same way, He wants you to take concrete and intentional actions. Whatever you aspire to, remember, faith is a foundation, but action is a movement. Have you ever stopped to think about why God wants His children to prosper? It is not for show or arrogance, but so that we can be living examples of His promises. Being a light in the world involves living abundantly and generously. I have come that they may have life, and that they may have it more abundantly. John 10, verse 10. The invitation prosperity is, in fact, a call to responsibility. When we align ourselves with this purpose, our resources become seeds of blessing in the lives of others. Now is the time to act, but with strategy and focus. Don't just let yourself be carried away by impulse. Evaluate, plan, seek divine guidance and practical wisdom. God honors those who act diligently and put their faith into action. Let this message be the awakening of something greater within you, a clear vision, renewed confidence, and a commitment to do your best. Finally, I thank you for taking the time to reflect on this important topic. May this message be more than words, but an impulse for you to take control of your financial future with purpose. If you are ready to begin this journey, how about taking the first step now? Whether by sharing this message with someone you love, or by planning your next financial steps. Remember, prosperity is a process, and every action counts. And don't forget to check if you have already liked or subscribed, and tell us about your experience here. And until the next video, God continues the Bible motivation.